I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen the video that was reposted by Prophet Mike and of the woman that he's talking to, informing her that her daughter was actually a sacrifice of witchcraft. That woman is me, and I was not ready to get on here and tell my testimony just yet, but I have to be obedient because I have a lot of people that follow me that are also a part of fraternities and sororities. And before you exit out this video, please just stay and listen to the entire video, because I used to be you. Please just listen, hear me out. And forgive me if my voice isn't all the way there. I just got over the flu. But yeah, here we go. So the night before my encounter with the Lord, which occurred on the Saturday after Thanksgiving, so it was Black Friday, and this was the first prophetic service. I invited my best friend, who is also part of a sorority. She's not a part of the same sorority, but she's a part of a sorority. And I invited her with me, and she got delivered from some things. And mind you, she doesn't wear any of her paraphernalia, not even a bracelet. I wear my bracelet, but she doesn't wear her bracelet. But when she got delivered, someone prophesied to her and told her that there was witchcraft on her mother's side. And when we got in the car to leave that night, I felt like when I left, I was missing something, but I had a feeling that whatever I didn't get Friday night, I was going to get Saturday. But the Holy Spirit was moving powerfully that night. I still prayed, and I felt the Spirit move, and I made some covenants with God that I will honor. I won't share here, but I will honor them. But there was something more that I felt like I needed, and I wasn't sure what it was. But I knew that if I didn't get it Friday, I was going to get it Saturday. And so she got delivered for some things. And the person that, prophesied to her told her that there was witchcraft on her mother's side. And the only thing that she could think of at the time was, of course, her mother being affiliated with the sorority, and her grandmother. Her mother and her grandmother are both a part of this sorority. And so we got in a conversation in the car while she was dropping me off to my car, because I parked further out. Ultimately we came to the conclusion that it was not that deep. And she said, yeah, I don't think it's that deep. And I agreed, and I said, no, I don't think it's that deep. But then there was this voice in my head that said, it always is, though. If you have a divine understanding, you know that life is purely spiritual. Like, everything happens in the spiritual realm before it ever comes to the physical. And so you have to understand that it truly is always that deep. It is always that deep. And so it's so weird how that rang in my head, and then I get in my car, and then I have this stinging in the right side of my head, like someone was like poking me, like the Holy Spirit was poking me, and I didn't understand what it was, but I tried to pray it off. Like it came out of nowhere. It felt like something was stabbing me in the right side of my brain. It was not a migraine. I didn't have migraines and headaches. I don't know what this was, but it was like the Holy Spirit thumped me. He thumped me. God thumped me. Yes, he did. But I didn't understand what it was at the time. And so the next day, I'm praying in the Spirit. This is Saturday, before the prophet calls me up, and I'm praying in the Spirit heavily. And one of the men that is leading praise and worship, he calls out a maternal. Like he says something along the lines of, I feel there's a woman that lost her child in here. Like he said it, and I felt the Spirit like fire in my belly, and then I feel pressure in my abdomen, like in my not really in my abdomen, but in my pelvic area. I feel pressure, like releasing, like that same stinging feeling, like I feel it, but it's releasing instead of pushing in. And I'm praying and I'm praying and I'm praying even harder because I feel it, and I yell. I really like scream at that point, but everyone's praying. We're praying for hours. I think we were praying for like maybe 5 or 6 hours before Prophet even gets up and starts speaking. But yeah, I'm toppled over and I'm praying, and I feel this pressure releasing from my pelvic area, and I knew it had something to do with my loss, but I felt like God was healing me from it at the same time, and then Prophet, he preaches about the woman of the issue of blood and her faith, which is crazy because I had a dream about a different type of prophet in the woman of the issue of blood some time ago. And the way that this night played out, it played out exactly like my dream played out, like the way I reached for the prophet in my own dream. But this time the prophet reached out to me. Like it was uncanny. So I knew it had to be God, how everything played out. I was hysterical, guys. Y'all, I have never been that hysterical in the spirit ever. I mean, when I lost my daughter, yeah, I don't think I did all that, but I think like the spirit of grief was on me, and even though I didn't want to admit it or show it, it was on me, and you could see it on me. I was fighting I was fighting the urge to fall out on the floor because people was falling out on the floor in the spirit. Like my pride wouldn't let me at first, guys. But once he said what he said, I knew he was talking to me, because I had just told the Lord, I told God to tell me what you want to tell me, like whatever you need me to give up, Lord, I will, just tell me. And in my mind, I literally had just said, it took me back to that conversation with me and my friend the day before. It said, and I had just said, yes, that too. But I was really praying about my relationship, because me and my fiance had been butting heads, and he's going to hate that I put this out here. But we were butting heads so bad, even walking into the service that night. Like, he was not with me. I was there by myself this second night. But he was texting me, and I just felt like, listen, he just don't know what I've been praying for. Like, I need God to just let me know what you want from me, because I want to be obedient. I don't want anything that you don't want from me, God. Like, less of me and more of you. Less of me and more of you. Like, I just kept praying to God, like, less of me and more of you, God. Less of me and more of you. Because I don't want anything that he doesn't want from me. I don't. And so when the prophet called me out there, I knew he was talking to me. I knew that he was talking to me, because I said, I believe that you have a word for me tonight, Lord, and I won't leave until you let me know what it is. And I have been thinking this about my daughter for so long, but I had no idea that it was true, because it was like, these are things that you don't necessarily speak out loud. Like, I was talking to my sister, and I was talking to my fiance. Like, I just feel like something was wrong, because how everything played out. First of all, there was nothing wrong. I went to the doctor on a Wednesday, both my regular doctor and my specialist on a Wednesday, and less than 3 days later, she's gone. Like, less than a week later, she's gone. It didn't make any sense, like, how everything played out. And so when the prophet told me what it was, that my daughter was indeed a sacrifice to my sorority, like the dreams that I was having, everything just clicked. It never made sense before, but it clicked. And I knew immediately, and I threw it down. And if y'all don't know now, you know. I denounce Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. I am no longer your soror if you thought I was. And I hope that anyone watching this will take into consideration what these fraternities and sororities actually mean. You are giving the devil, Satan, legalities into your life to take things from you, whether it be through someone, a jealous friend, whatever. Like, God was showing me in dreams who may have been doing these things to me, but I didn't understand. I didn't understand. But when you know better, you do better. And I hope that my story can be a testimony to someone else. Please be obedient. If you feel God pulling you to denounce, do it, and do it immediately. Because obedience is better than sacrifice. quite literally in my case.